The long-term category includes finding your 5-year numerical targets. That's just what numbers do you want to hit in 5 years' time. Finding and setting your 5-year goals, and discovering your opportunities, threats, and trends. Now we're going to set 5-year numerical targets. So ask yourself, what measurable numbers do you want to hit in 5 years' time? Take an informed guess. Now, I know that 5 years is a long way away and anything can happen between now and 5 years. No one can predict the future. We don't have crystal balls. But while no one knows the future, you can imagine what it could be. An old mentor of mine once told me, he said, setting those longer term goals, he called them a WAG, and that's a wild ass guess. He said, I don't really know, but looking at past numbers, making some predictions about the future, stirring in some imagination, here's where I feel that we could predictably be at, especially when that's a halfway point to the longer term BHAG. The numerical targets will be different for every business. What your categories are in terms of what you're measuring, we're going to sort out, but they're going to be different for every business and every industry. So you need to discover what yours are. The numerical targets look different for every business and every industry. So you're going to have to choose what yours are. But here's a list of some of the numerical targets from people that I've really worked with, and some may apply to you and feel free to take them, but it might spark your thinking a little bit as to what your numerical targets are or could be. So here's some examples. Total revenue. Well, that applies to everyone, doesn't it? EBITDA, or earnings before interest, taxation, depreciation, and amortization. Or some people just choose net profit to make it simpler. Cost of sales, gross profit, market capitalization, same-store sales if you've got multiple locations, number of A players in key seats. Now there's one you might not have thought of, but one organization that I worked at used that as a marker of success because they knew that if they had A players in key seats, they were going to win. So they kept coming back to that number and looking at that number. Store count, number of countries or territories we sell to, number of social media followers or subscribers, containers shipped, deal count. So you can see that the possibilities for numerical targets are almost endless. You have to choose the ones that really matter for you and for your business. So now I'd like you to choose those numerical targets. Which numbers make sense for you and for your business? Now, this might be hard, but choose no more than 6. Because the problem isn't that we don't have enough information. Usually the problem is we're drowning in information and we can't sort through it and make meaningful sense of any of it. So I want you to choose no more than 6 really meaningful numbers that you really do want to measure and feel are important. Where would you like those numbers to be in 5 years? Make your WAG. And now add them to your one-page plan. So now it's your turn to write in those 5-year numerical targets. So we're working on the long-term portion of the plan, so that's that middle column, and it's the very first category. So write in your numerical targets in that category, put numbers to them, make your WAG, your wild ass guess, and put in your numbers for 5 years now.